I'm gonna do this. What happened was I lost the attachment to the mic part of my headphones. Or that's in here somewhere. Please tell me put it in here somewhere. No, it's lost. It's completely lost. Tragic. And that means that I cannot use my headset. Because the whole point of the headset is just to use the mic on it. You know what I mean? So like this is just where we are. This is the state that I'm in currently. Um hey bro, fuck it. Yeah, hey, we're here. And I headset. Aside from the fact that it doesn't have a mic. And I don't know why they made that's what I'm doing here is um yeah. So what I'm doing here is I recently seen a video where I think it was Lotus was playing against Mary Sue on play Tekken, right? Especially since he's only Tekken Emperor. I don't feel like I don't feel like the distance between me and him is that far, right? He was not doing too hot. Like the difference in gameplay was not high enough for me to be like, all right, let me not backseat. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's the main man, if it's like fighting GM, it's like okay, they're on a different level. So there's things that they could be considering that I'm just not. Right? All right. There could be things they're considering that I'm just not. Right? And for example, uh, there's different option selects or different comfortabilities that the people they're facing against at a high level where they're playing different levels of mind game. Uh, Tekken Emperor right now is incredibly cooked. I don't know if you guys know this, but Tekken Emperor is not impressive at all. In the sense that like anyone up there kind of is fucking useless. Like their lobbing is useless. Like they just aren't playing good. If that makes any sense. Yeah, I guess for example, um, bro's getting mixed with. How do I do this dance? He was getting mixed with this mid high, right? And that low. If I can remember how to do it, hold on. There you go. He was getting mixed by that. That was the mix. The guy would do something like some variation of like down back 1-2 or some sort of like brawl, like 13 frame fast poke brawl into uh they would do some sort of like 13 frame fast poke brawl into stance transition that's negative on block, mind you. And instead of interrupting, right, as someone you would expect in Tekken Emperor range to do, because they lab the character and they understanding of the game, uh, that motherfucker just took the mix up every time. He just took the mix up, and like I can't pretend like I'm better because I also just take the mix up, and I'm also new to the matchup where I'm not used to the animations. But I don't know, Tekken Emperor ain't looking too good right now. Or at least this might be a bad day for Lotus. But the point is that in theory, right, if I turn this off, no, that's not it. gotta find the move. Nope. Yeah, this one. Something like this to transition. What again? What is that? That back forward. So I'm gonna do like down, forward, 1-4, forward. Yeah, something like that. Right. This transition. Oh no, not that one, not that one. There's one of them. Hold on, I'm just gonna look through the move list because this is gonna be hella like way easier. Oh no, that sucks. I'll just do defensive and then look at the move list that way. It's like a motion input, like a not a motion input. It's like a weird diagonal joint that transitions. There's two inputs. Oh, down back 2-4. That's not it. Oh yeah. Like down forward 1-1. Yeah, down forward 1-1. This is minus on block. So if I do this, go to punishment training, forward, right? That's +8 when you hit it, but on block. Oh, it's 0, right? So if I take control, make the bot block. That's 13. That's 15. That's 17. That's 17. All right. The fastest move she has is 13 frames. So you're probably thinking like, oh, that makes the stance really tough to deal with, even on block, because it's a fast poke. That's 13 frames, and most fast pokes are 13 frames, so they'll trade. Which is like, yeah. Like in theory, that makes it very good because you get to. Hold on. In theory, it makes it good because it means you can interrupt a lot of stuff. Hold on, I need to make sure I'm doing that to like exact frame, bro. There we go. Had to match it. So like if I it's +0, right? And it's a mid. Has decent tracking. Why did it? Why the fuck did it stop? Oh, because I accidentally activated one. That's on me. There we go. So, like, you get the picture. Right. If I do something like... Hold on. I get counted, right? Trades were... She's +1. You don't lose much, so you can just spam a down forward 1 to beat that. Or... if you're double jump specifically, right? And he's eating that all day. Another thing you can do is something like that. It's just gonna beat everything. Um, Another thing you can do is something like you don't have to take the mix. But I think even if he does the low, maybe if he does the low, you lose. Oh no, I don't know that one. Oh, I pressed the wrong button again. Hold on. Yeah, so you lose that. But you don't really. So like you have to step in the counterintuitive direction. Yeah, you have to step it the other way. But keep in mind, you know what I mean? There's stuff like and it's like, oh, but you're specifically calling out the low. Yeah, that's the point, right? So if you're doing step to her left to counteract the low, wait, I think you step left and a bunch of. I can't remember if you step left on this stance or not. All right, it's been a while since I labbed her, but you can counteract a bunch of options with stepping. You can dick jab. You can power crush, and if she's using the low, so it's like I can't use power crush. Then you can just use anything that evades lows. Like I think Diligent's pretty privileged to have like this as an option because it technically means that like you could use Simsada to beat some of the options if you just read that she's going to transition and you just do Simsada and you just win. But back to what I was saying. Broski was losing to this mix-up. Right? That move and this move. Right? And it's like, oh, okay, it's a mid-low mix-up. Yeah, true, it's a mid-low mix-up, except that isn't jail. So what you can do is you can just hold down back. I'm lying. I'm wrong. I'm wrong as shit. I'm so wrong. Yeah, that nigga was just getting mixed. he was just getting mixed. But even though that's wrong, because I thought, because I could have swore I ducked. I guess it's just natural. I'm fine. What I was saying was that I'm wrong in the sense that you cannot option select it by holding down back because the mid is natural, right? And they complement each other as far as which side you have to step, so you can't step to avoid both of them. And then the mid's 13 frames, so you have to interrupt. So he was effectively being mixed by right? You can just interrupt. And it's like, okay, that's not very conclusive. What is this stuff? I should get. Yeah, that gotta go. So if I do something like that, and then something like that, so they have the same transition. Yeah, so essentially you don't actually have to take the mix. You can interrupt. So another thing that I think is very, very easy that you can do is just take the fucking low. Because he was guessing wrong. He was saying he was guessing wrong. But like, why even look at the low? If you know the person's gonna alternate, right? Like they've been alternating so far, it's reasonable to take the guess to say that they're going to swap eventually. So if you just say, all right, fuck it, I'm willing to take the low, so this person thinks to at least do the low next time, which opens yourself up to the mind game of them not doing the low. I mean, of them not stopping the low, right? Because now you get a launcher. I mean, now you get a launcher. There we go. Holy shit. Okay, so you get the general idea of you can just take the low. Like if this is the mix, it's not a real mix. It is a real mix because you actually can't duck. You know what I mean? You can't evade both of them. He does have like 50/50s. Alright, whatever. Fuck it. She does have 50/50s, right? So, in turn, what that means is you are taking a guess, but since both the stances gives the same reward of like 40 and a knockdown, you aren't losing a bunch of health unless you try to mash. So like you have to take the mix up. Don't get me wrong. It's still the sort of gameplay cycle where you have to take a mix up, but you don't die if you're wrong on the mix up. You have to guess like consecutively wrong. Like you have to guess consecutively wrong, and if she's wrong, you can get something like that, or that's like double damage. I mean, most characters have a combo that does like a fuck ton of damage. That's all. I guess depending, you would have to. That misses? Why? That one's on me. On me again. So yeah, she can take massive amounts of damage for being wrong in a scenario where her benefit would be 40, and if you're right, if you just guess correctly, you get 80. So you do enough damage to essentially kill her if she does that like stance and you guess correctly. So if it's a 50-50, quote unquote, between the low and the mid heat engager, essentially if you just take a hit with the assumption that the next one is going to be something else, right? Let's say like she's going back and forth, and you're just not too confident on which one she's going to do right now. You take a hit to affirm. You just go, all right, you did the low. Next time you're going to do the mid probably, right? Or let's say you ducked, she did the mid, and you think she's going to do the mid again. You can take the guess, and if you're right, you get all the health back plus uh, this situation. I mean, it's like, okay, I guess wrong twice. Guess wrong 3 times. Now you can do a crazy combo. Because I think that's 80 with rage. So there's probably gonna be 80 with rage again. Yep. And then something else I want to see is it's definitely harder. I think it just sends you too far away. No, because I've definitely done it before. Or maybe it's without doing. Uh, Maybe it's without doing that, because that adds a lot of damage. Yeah. Nice. So they want to do it without heat. Hmm. You have to be way closer to do it without the heat. In which case you could probably do something like this. Nah, 'cause that doesn't work. Nah, hits the wall too soon. Nah, just too close. Alright, this should be about it. Maybe closer, actually. Anyway, moving on. Another thing that I saw that I thought was interesting is I can't remember the input for it, but I think it's like 3-1. There we go. It's 3-2. This move in particular, it's safe on block, right? You can't sidestep during it, but you can duck underneath. So what you do is scout that leg. And duck it. Right. And the thing about this move is that it has good range, and I'm pretty sure it's like 13 frames, right? Yeah, so it's a 13 frame Punisher with Punisher. Using this move on her as a with Punisher makes sense. Throwing it out in neutral doesn't when your opponent knows anything about the matchup. Because obviously stuff like this is gonna happen. Every single time you do it. And it's like, okay, so like plenty of people have that. god1 has his 3-1. The difference is that 3-1, guess it's literally like a kick into a fish that's like mid high. The difference is the like actually I don't think there is a difference. I was gonna say the difference is that like 3-1 is the only move that comes from it, and like this alone can be used for because it's what it's punishable block. So that was just a terrible fucking example. Marizu has a better move. All right, Marizu's 3-2 is better than god1's 3-1, but those aren't comparable because one's a Rekka. And the point is that there's gonna be people who are gonna punish that. I've had people who punish that all the time. Like not that little move, but the follow up. That. And then there's gonna be people who punish Marizu's. The category of which is going to be a lot more people. And since you're bringing yourself to the other person, everyone gets their max punish. Every single person. Right. 3-1 leaves god1 plus on block. So if they are not doing it, then essentially they're just going to be at a disadvantage whenever I do it. If they are doing it, then I just have to stop. Because I will lose immediately. So, it's one of those moves where you just can't spam it, regardless of like who you're playing against at a certain point, because it is so obvious, right? Like there's mid here, right? So this is the mix. Right? And it's like you're supposed to care about which one is followed up. Like which option is the person going to use. But I'm pretty sure the reward for hitting this is so minuscule that I think someone would be willing to take this a couple of times before even thinking I have to duck. Which is ideally how like a mix-up move should work, where I bet that you didn't think I was going to do this, and now she gets a stance transition at +4, right? Which makes like all her options uninterruptible. True guess. You can still sidestep though, right? At least I think it changes from person to person generally. I think maybe in this stage won't be the sidestep. All right, you're still able to sidestep. So, point being made where it's either punish into stance mix up, which you can still sidestep, right? Which means you can't disrespect the 13 frame or the 14. All right, sure, you can't disrespect. But actually, technically, you still can. You still can disrespect. Because if I make this a punishment instead. So, where my head at is the move itself is 13 frames, right? Into a 13 frame move at +4. I feel like I'm not doing this as fast enough as I can. That one's definitely not as fast. There you go. Just accept that to move on. Right. So 13 minus 4, 9. Right. You would need a move faster than 9 frames to beat it. Of course, Flash works there. Blah blah blah. But you can power crush like all the rest of the options. I think. No, no, never mind. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Because she's +4 and everything else is, even though it's slower, it isn't like that slow. Like that's 13, right? That's 15. So that'd be 11 frames. You would lose even with Power Crush. That's 17 frames. That's, well, basically 8 because it's Power Crush. So you need a 4 frame move to beat that. That's 17. Right? Honestly, I think you obviously objectively when you do like 3-1 forward into stance, this is just a mix. That's not what I'm thinking about. What I'm thinking about is when someone does the transition raw on your block, like they do down on one, and you think they're gonna do the low, can't you just launch them? Can't you just like send them flying? Oh no, I use the bathroom.
Masnat? 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 Masnat?